ShinRobjira.
1973 was a bit of a kooky year for a lot of different reasons. One of the reasons being, it's the year this lovely piece of cinema was released for all of our eyes to enjoy. And while it's taking Bandai and other companies forever and 3/4 to release another Megalon figure, we're finally being treated to more and more Jaguar merchandise, which coincidentally is who we're going to be talking about today. But without further delay, let's snip this guy out of the packaging, shall we? Jaguar, you say, huh? Oh, precision snipping. To precision snip, we must also precision slice. And will never let snipping hurt figure. Jaguar, punch, punch, punch. Dr. Snipping, snip, 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 snip. A fine one specimen. Oh, whoa. Weird. Something's off about this thing. Alright, and as we usually do, here is the box without the figure in it. The only major change will be, well, there's no figure in it, and Jaguar's name is on the front. And there will be no major changes on the back either. It'll still be Godzilla, Sphere, Godzilla, Jaguar, and Burning Godzilla. Beautiful. Alrighty, let's get this guy on the little rotationary thing and let's get this guy on the little Okay. Looks like I'll have to use this after all. Well, it does seem that old Jaguar over here can't stand on his own without the help of this piece of plastic or a stand of your choosing. Don't know how I feel about that. Alright, before I forget, you can get the Playmates Godzilla Classics line Jaguar at your local Target and or Walmart. He hasn't been found at Walmart just yet, but you can find him on the Walmart website, link in the description. So when it comes down to the detail, I'm actually very impressed with the level of detail Playmates managed to squeeze into this figure, especially in terms of the head area. We've got the bolts up here, we've got Jaguar's antennae, which, wow, wasn't expecting to see that on this thing. More bolts on the back side of the head, and more bolts in another antenna on the other side. Not to mention the near perfect red streak going from the bottom of Jet's neck to the back of his head. Not bad, Playmates. You do got some goop though. Jaguar's face though I feel is very, very impressive. The light and subtle detailing on the eyes with the circles is really, really surprising because that's something even Diamond Select didn't do. Playmates out here impressing me. Hell, even the detail on the mouth, the chin, the nose, the top of the head even. This is all very impressive looking stuff. And we haven't even moved on to the rest of the figure. Now when it comes to Jaguar's design, he's pretty simple, so Playmates screwing this up really wasn't on the table here. And as far as the detail goes, I really don't think they did screw this up. It looks really, really good. The colors are where they're supposed to be. The Michelin Man isms are where they're supposed to be. One thing that I'm truly, really, really impressed with is that Playmates went as far to do separation over here. As you can see, this red part of Jaguar's torso is raised up a bit, so it's not just a bit that's been painted on or anything. And it's like that with different parts of the figure as well, not just on his torso. Like right here on the thigh, this is a raised part of the figure. Very nice job, Playmates. But anyway, in terms of paint, from what I'm seeing right here, it all looks great. It all looks in place too, nothing too crazily messy. And everything is as it should be on Jet's back as well. The obvious zipper, the obvious paint, it's all pretty much shot for shot. Even the arrows pointing up on the back of Jet's back, and the arrows pointing down on the back of Jet's neck. Playmates really did come through with something really, really impressive. And it doesn't stop here. Even when you get down to the knee pads and everything over here, this is all separated. This is a raised part of the mold. So basically what I'm getting at here, everything that I was worried about Playmates doing with this figure, they didn't do. And holy heck, look at this. The knee pads even on the back of the legs are raised. Playmates legit went all out on this thing. Parts are sculpted into the mold. They're not just painted on to represent parts of the mold. And that's really, really good. Very well done. It's even like that on Jet's feet as well, if you can believe it. Even on this other foot that's clearly a little bit misshapen. It's still painted and detailed very, very nicely. Except on the Jag 5s over here, there is no paint spillage. God dang, they even got the blue paint design right for Jet Jaguar's legs. Look at that. In all honesty, I think this part's the most messily painted. You can kind of see it here, but when looking down on the figure from this angle, which I highly doubt you'll ever be doing, you can kind of see some of the yellow paint gooping onto the top of Jet's belt buckle. But hey, for the most part, as far as I'm considered, this is Jet Jaguar. He's painted up like Jet Jaguar. He looks exactly like Jet Jaguar. Is Jet Jaguar. My one issue with the paint though, and this is gonna come off so nitpicky, is that the color of the figure feels a little bit on the washed out side when compared to others. Again, like I said, I really don't have much to compare this guy to, but what I do have, he just feels a little bit, you know, pastel-y, a little bit more of like an Easter pastel, just washed out a bit. I do feel like the paint could have been a little bit brighter, and I feel like the silver could have been a little bit shinier as well. But these are nitpicks. I would not call that a major criticism of the figure because for $10, we are finally getting a mass-produced Jet Jaguar figure. And it looks good. Really, really good. A lot better than many, including myself, are probably expecting. In terms of paint, yes, Jet Jaguar has a bit of a washed out palette going on there. But as far as my eye can see, everything is where it needs to be and it looks pretty dang good. So I'm going to give Jet Jaguar a full star, despite the messy paint on the foot and on the belt buckle. I don't think that's a real criticism, especially for $10. But in terms of the sculpt though, ooh boy, a lot of fantastic detail on here. This figure looks a lot better than it really deserves to be, but he can't stand by himself, and I do think that is a problem. Now, I made the criticism with Playmates that if they're going to do pre-posed legs, they should just not include articulation at all. Because no matter what you did, the figures wouldn't stand unless it was a minor variation of the pose they were given. I think I might have been pretty wrong on that. This guy definitely could have used something in the legs. Either that or maybe just giving him a neutral pose, but I don't know if I even would have wanted a neutral pose out of Jet Jaguar. Look at how cool this is. He's got a nice attacking stance for crying out loud. Maybe they should just include a clip-on piece for the foot for future releases. But despite loving the detail of this figure, the build of it is clearly flawed. He cannot stand on his own, so that full star is gonna have to be knocked down to half a star. I'm sorry, Jet. But let's move into articulation. Jet Jaguar's head can move all the way around, as can his arms. You will have to move them out at certain points. Yes, indeed, both of them. Do be careful not to pop the arms out, though. Now, despite what it might look like, there is no movement at the elbows on either side of the figure. I know it looks like they can, but they cannot. You're gonna get a full 360 degrees turn at the waist, and absolutely nothing at the feet, thighs, or legs entirely. This is all one solid piece. Pretty standard articulation, but nothing I'd honestly take points off for. Yeah, you're really not going to be getting Jet Jaguar into any crazy poses, but it is serviceable, and oddly polite looking. Hello! So in terms of articulation, I'm gonna give him a full star. It's pretty dang good for a $10 figure. So with this figure being our very first classic design Jet Jaguar figure in a very, very long time, I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, the colors are a little washed out, and I am a little upset that he can't stand without that piece of plastic or a stand. Yes, the Bandai Movie Monster series is releasing a Jet Jaguar in June, and yes, I will be talking about that. But honestly, Playmates did a pretty great job with Jet Jaguar. Again, the legs could have used something. Maybe another flat foot, I don't know. And paint can always be fixed with another production run, and I'd buy another one too. I don't know what happened with this camera, but something happened, it freaked out. Anyway, Jet Jaguar over here, 2.5 stars out of 3. High recommend. Definitely get yourself a copy of this. Do not let this out of your sight because I have a feeling this guy is going to be a victim of the scalpening. Yes, that's right, I said the scalpening. But anyway, that's it. It's the end of the review that me, ShinRobjira, made for you, the viewer. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you should comment down below and tell me. And you should totally subscribe too, because there's a big number of people out there who watch my videos and aren't subscribed. What's up with that? And I guess with the rate that things are going right now, I'll probably see you all tomorrow for the Battle Roar Godzilla vs. Kong Godzilla figure. Oh man. I'm gonna need like a good 3 days off after this. Bye everybody.